Trying out another audio system. Okay. I'm ready.
Screw GarageBand.
Ooh, no.
All right, Clint. Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye. I don't know if we're allowed to finish it.
What?
I don't know. What if Nickelodeon's like, no?
I don't know about that. But
Captain.
anyways,
Okay.
God.
No biz.
You're listening to Know This, a podcast where two friends test each other on random trivia topics that we find interesting. But really, it's just us hanging out. And hey, maybe we'll learn a thing or two. And who knows, listeners, maybe this will even save you on one of those trivia nights. I'm Jeremy.
Will it? No.
It could. You don't know. What if one day they ask you about Gordon Ramsay trivia and then we're just like, oh, who knows? It's going to be like, I don't know, man. What is it?
Oh, is that our topic? Another Gordon Ramsay episode? Okay.
No. We got to get there. I'm Jeremy. Who are you?
I'm the guy that you ask the questions to.
So this is this dumbass over here. That's what he
Hey,
is.
I'm Clint.
Okay, Clint. Michelin stars. Know this?
I would like to know this.
It's not if you want to know this. It's whether you do know this.
Not enough.
I feel like maybe you might know a little bit because you did the whole Gordon Ramsay episode and like you kind of maybe looked into it a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're gonna deep dive into it
All right.
this time.
I'm
Mhm.
about to
But-
dive in. Okay.
Call this a deep sea episode because we about to dive in.
Ooh, gulu, gulu, gulu.
What a weird ass bubbles do you have? So salutations, Clint. What's up? How you doing?
I'm great.
If you're watching our Patreon only content, you can see that Clint actually got a new haircut today.
I did? Yeah, I was tired of, so I got it shorter this time because I was tired of having to get a haircut every month. So I found a cheap barber shop and I was like, why is it so cheap? I went and it was just a bunch of old Asian ladies and I was like, it makes sense now. And then I just told her, cut my hair short, and she didn't do a bad job. Like for $10,
I mean, it looks pretty good.
for $10, I was like, all right, lady, me and you, we're gonna
Let's get on a first name basis,
yeah,
okay? Let's get to know each other.
Talk multiple times in a year. So I found my cheap haircut place.
I think it looks good, man.
But yeah, that's what's up with me. What's up with you?
What's up with me is that I'm hosting the Michelin star episode. So Clint,
tires, baby.
before we get too deep into the Michelin stars, as you all know, in this podcast, I'm going to be asking Clint a few questions about the Michelin stars, and he'll try to answer without me giving any hints. Maybe I'll give him some. We'll see how we go. But once we figure out how clueless he really is, then it's time to drop some
Tires. Oh. I had the opportunity and I took it.
No, it's not tires, Clint. It's knowledge.
Oh.
So after you attempt to answer the questions, I'm going to give you the actual factual answers. And at the very end of the episode, what's our last segment, Clint?
Oh, shit. What is it? Oh, it's that past fact from the... Wait, what? Fact from the past. Yeah.
Screw it. We're going straight to questioning. Okay, Clint, what do you know about Michelin stars?
Well, it's the Michelin man, and he goes to restaurants. I don't know if it's word of mouth that they get this, like, oh, it's super good, and then they go there, and then they rate it and give stars. I don't know if that makes sense, but whatever. But yeah, it's the Michelin brand that they give out the stars to restaurants. The max that they can give is 3 to a restaurant. And basically, when you see a restaurant that has Michelin stars or hear a restaurant that has Michelin stars, you know that their food is good.
So it sounds like you know maybe the base amount, kind of like what I knew during the Gordon Ramsay episode. Like, you know that there's 3 stars, you know that restaurants get it, things like that. So the Michelin star rating system did originally come from the Michelin tire company. And the first book ever came out was in the 1900s by the French brothers Andre Michelin and Edouard Michelin.
Uh-huh.
It's not spelled Edward because it's French, I guess.
Oh.
Anyways.
Edward.
Now, this isn't our official question, but why do you think they created this book?
Well, s'il vous plaît.
Je ne sais quoi.
Wait, what book?
How you say?
What book are we talking about?
So this was a book of the different ratings
Uh-huh.
of different restaurants, different things in different places. Why did the Michelin brothers create this?
I don't know.
You have no idea?
No.
They just decided to become like, hey, maybe we'll review restaurants too for fun.
Yeah.
We sell tires as our main job, and
Yeah.
as the side, we'll just, have some stars.
Yeah, it's like how we got into this podcast. We're bored.
They created this because they wanted to market their tires to a wider audience, because they found that back then in the 1900s, there was actually more bicycles in France than there were cars. There were actually only maybe 3,000 cars back then. So the Michelin brothers, this company, they decided, okay, we got to create a book to convince people to want to travel. Basically, they're trying to raise interest in tourism, so they could have people drive cars around to different places, at different hotels, to eat at different restaurants, so that they would run down their tires and eventually buy more Michelin tires and raise up this company's profits.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
Good on you, mate. I'm sorry.
is every episode going to be an accent episode
Yes,
now?
I really want to better my repertoire of accents, so this podcast will be a
okay.
great way for me to do that. So get ready,
Yeah,
folks.
you're-
Aye, matey.
You're excited?
French accent, here I come.
Oh my gosh. I really don't want to do this episode anymore.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We're going to really focus on the star rating system.
Oui.
We're going to do a lot of trivia about what restaurants have these stars, about what the stars actually mean, and to see if Clint can actually kind of intuitively guess information about how restaurants get these stars.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you talked about how the Michelin stars has a 3-star rating system, correct?
Uh-huh.
Now, what do each star represent?
Oh, this is the first question. All right. So 1, I say, is good food, bad service. And then 2 is like great food, okay service. And then 3, you know where I'm going with this. Superb food and je m'appelle.
So what is it? So it's good food, bad service, great food, okay service,
Superb
excellent food.
Superb. Excellent.
Superb food, and then French people that are serving you. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. And great service too. Like you need to be all around excellent. So service, food, maybe even location.
Okay. That was our first question. Question number 2. Okay. You know what? What we're going to do is we're actually going straight into an early session lightning round, man.
What?
It's because I really just want to ask about like the stars and get that out of the way, Ask you about, little random trivia stuff about the stars. So, are you ready?
Okay.
Ready for our lightning round.
Alright, I'm actually gonna do this fast. Alright, I'm ready to go.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of background, but then I got to have you answer quickly. So a lot of times, with stars equals more expensive. However, there are cheap Michelin stars. Which country has the cheapest Michelin starred restaurant?
Thailand.
How much does it cost for a meal there?
Like $2 American dollars.
Okay. How about what city is the cheapest US based Michelin star restaurant?
Boston.
How much does that cost?
Like it's $18.
Okay. How about the most expensive place and price?
Oh, Paris.
Okay.
And how much?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Most expensive. This is the opposite.
Ooh, hello. Oh, damn. Let's say a dish like $500. Holy crap. I would never pay
$500 for it. Okay. That's why we're not going to 3-star restaurants.
That's my credit card max. $500, y'all. I'm kidding.
Okay, back to our lightning round. Which country has the record for the most stars?
Oh, Francois. France.
Okay, and where does Michelin stars actually belong to?
Where?
When a restaurant receives the stars, who does this belong to?
The head chef. Head chef or owner.
That's like the only 2 people it could be, man. What the?
Hey, The wait staff could get it. I don't know. Fine, head chef.
Okay.
I would be pissed
Well-
as the owner if I didn't. You know what? Never mind.
Okay, then who do you want it to be, man?
The owner,
You want it
the-
to be the wait staff?
the owner,
Okay,
the
we'll have the
owner.
sommelier get the freaking Michelin
The
star.
sommelier. Come on, man. It's the owner.
Okay. Well, that was a grueling and frustrating lightning round. So, we're going to talk about the Michelin rating system and the inspectors. Now, the Michelin inspectors usually have a criteria when it comes to assessing a restaurant. They have 5 specific criteria. Can you name 2?
Service and food.
Let's be a little bit more specific than that. I'll keep it to mind. I'll put service and food. If you want to name more, you can, but...
Location. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, service, food, and location, that's their criteria.
Yeah, that's why you get 3 stars when you're superb in all 3.
Now we'll get to the Michelin inspectors themselves.
Hmm.
Now, no one actually knows who these Michelin inspectors are because what they do when they go into a restaurant is that they have to be very anonymous.
Hmm.
Now, some movies and some restaurateurs have found different ways of trying to figure out who's an inspector and how to actually pinpoint which person it is. What would be their tells? What are things that they actually do?
Order a lot of things on a menu. Stay for a long time. Have a French accent.
What?
I think just like act very curious. Like ask too many questions. Or the opposite.
Ooh, ask.
Doesn't talk at all. One or the other.
Does what talk at all?
Does not talk
like
at
saying
all.
the service?
Does not talk at all to the waiters. So
Wait, are you saying the inspectors don't talk to the waiters?
yeah.
I'm so confused,
Either
man.
they're really talkative and ask a lot of questions, or they don't ask questions at all.
So they have to be on the extreme?
Yes, it's extreme. There's no middle.
Okay. And that's it? So that's how they would figure it out? It's just order a lot of things. They stay for a long time. They probably are French. And they just ask so many questions or no questions at all?
Yeah, like, hey, Mr. Ramsey, there's this guy asking like 80 questions about our food. I think it's a Michelin guy.
The maitre d' is like, okay, French. Who's French? Who's French?
And then Gordon Ramsay's like, oh, bloody hell.
Is there things that you would say they might do at the restaurant?
do?
For example, like spilling a glass of wine. Do you think they would do things like that on purpose or like,
Yeah, I think they would
try to trip people
try
up?
to cause some sort of ruckus just to see how the staff would react to it, to really rate it and see if they have great service. I think that's something Michelin tire would do.
Okay. Well, those are my questions. I don't really have much to talk about now because I really just want to talk about it afterwards, talk about the information and stuff. So, well, we'll go on a break, Clint,
Okay.
and we'll be right back. All right, we are back.
Yeah, baby.
Let's start with our first question. Now, I asked you, what do each star represent?
Uh-huh.
You kind of gave me this little rambly thing that you're talking about, but overall, what I was trying to get, or I think I got, was that 1 star meant good food, bad service.
Yes.
2 stars gives you good food, service is okay.
Yeah.
And then your third one, tell me what your actual thing is, because I have no idea anymore.
Third one is like a chef's kiss, superb food, excellent service, and great location.
Location.
It's all about location, baby.
So you got to be at a good spot if you want to get 3 stars.
Hell yeah. If you're in the mountains and God knows where, I ain't giving you that 3rd star.
If I can't get to your place, you can't get to that 3rd star.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. You're wrong.
For all of them? Damn.
Let me just bring up what the 3-star rating system represents.
All right.
So, the Michelin company first created its stars system, or giving stars out, in 1926 because they feel like, oh, we deserve to show people which restaurants are considered fine dining.
Okay.
So they first created that 1st star to represent, oh, these all established are fine dining. So people who might want to go there know that they're fine dining restaurants.
Oh.
But in 1931, they created the 3-star system.
Uh-huh.
And here, they created the first star meant that it was a very good restaurant in this category.
That's what I said.
Okay, so it didn't have to be fine dining. It's just a good restaurant.
Yeah.
2 meant it was excellent cooking. It's definitely worth a detour.
That's what I said.
You know, because okay, they didn't talk anything about the service.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
and 3 stars meant exceptional cuisine. It's worth a special journey.
The hell?
Okay, they never talked about location or service in these star systems. What they actually was more about is that because this was a Michelin guide, this was a book that wanted travelers or tourists to drive around and use Michelin tires.
Oh, God.
The system was more about, oh, is it worth the journey to go to this place? Is it worth to go to this place when I'm going somewhere else?
Yeah.
And are these restaurants any good? So that's basically what the original system and what the system is based on nowadays.
Okay. But now it's still like I feel like they have so many more factors now, right?
I'll tell you what the factors are into the 5 categories that the Michelin inspectors will have.
Right.
But that's the basis.
Okay.
You know, right now Michelin hasn't said anything besides this 3-star system. So they still stand by that 3 stars means it's an exceptional cuisine.
Okay. All right.
Something that really changes the game, I guess.
All right.
Then after that, we kind of went straight into our lightning round.
We did?
I think so.
All right, well, hit me with the lightning round.
So I asked you first, which country has the cheapest Michelin starred restaurant and how much does it cost?
Yes.
You said Thailand and you said $2.
Yes.
Now, your $2 was actually pretty close. Okay. So it's not in Thailand though. It's in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Singapore has this place called the Lao Fan Hong Kong soya sauce, chicken and rice and noodle.
Oh, that sounds so
It's a long
good.
name. It is a street food stall and its average meal costs $2.20.
Ooh, I'm right on the money.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. It was definitely a very cheap price. Now, it's not in Thailand, but hey, I would want to go to that place. It's for $2?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't I want to go
let's
to a
go.
Michelin star
That's
restaurant?
why we
Why
gotta
not?
do a Southeast Asia trip. We're going. I was thinking in Thailand, I don't know about, you know, the omelet lady? She's famous for her like scrambled egg thing that she makes. And she has a Michelin star. It's also like a street food thing in Thailand.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. Now, when you bring that up, actually, there is a point that I wanted to mention is that some people actually don't even want Michelin stars. Like, they don't like it because Michelin star does have like a negative impact sometimes.
What?
Like, for example, a street food stall can create like a huge line. And then now, like, your place is like really packed. There's no breathing room. There's always people just trying to get their food, which is good. But sometimes I've even heard that your landlord might increase your rent because now they know that you're like a fancy place now and stuff like that too.
Damn. Yeah, I get that.
So sometimes Michelin star ain't all that. But I think a lot of restaurants still want that Michelin star.
Yeah,
They're still
man.
aiming for that stuff.
It's special, you know?
Going back to our lightning round,
Yes.
I asked which US city has the cheapest Michelin star restaurant.
Yes.
And you said Boston and $18. Now, for your money pricing, you're pretty good.
So good.
It was actually an $18 dish at a place called Al's Place
Okay.
in San Francisco.
What? San Francisco?
Yeah. It's in San Francisco. It's only $18. I never knew this. If I knew about it, I would have totally just gone to these places now. $18. So, granted, it's a 1 Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
And they consider themselves casual dining. So, they don't have any dress code or anything. But $18, 1 Michelin star. Why aren't we going there, man? Why haven't we gone there
Let's
already?
go right now. Where is it? Is it in the pier?
You in Utah, bro. What are you talking about?
Where is it? In the pier? Is it in Fisherman's Wharf?
No, it's not in a pier. I think it's somewhere in the inner city area. I don't think it's near the tourist attraction areas.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
But,
good to know.
you know,
is there a directory?
I'm-
Is there like a website where I could look at what's the nearest Michelin
So-
star restaurant to me?
Yeah,
Oh.
Michelin has their own website. You can go onto guide.michelin.com and then they just show you all their restaurants that they have given different awards to, as well as different stars. And you can also like check out how close is it to you and what they have.
All right. Well, that's helpful.
Now, I also asked you which country has the most expensive Michelin star restaurants.
Yes. And I said Francois.
And it was $500.
Yes.
On that note, you are wrong. It is not Paris. It was in Ibiza.
What the? It's Ibiza.
Is it? Ibiza?
Ibiza. Ibiza. Ibiza.
You know, I took a pill in Ibiza.
Okay, well, he's saying it wrong. Okay.
I don't know if it works.
How the snobs say it. It's Ibiza. 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 I can't even say.
You can't even pronounce it either. Okay, but it's the island in the Mediterranean Sea. Now, I guess, yeah, I don't think it's French. I think it's
in
maybe part of Spain.
Yeah.
It's a restaurant named Sublimotion.
What?
I guess it's like combining sublime and motion or something. I don't know.
Not lotion. Okay.
But Sublime Lotion.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those fancy places where you eat your food by putting it on your hands instead. You know the Parks and Rec episode where like they go to a fancy bar and they spray alcohol into your hands? Their standard dish is $1,761.
What that is my maximum credit card.
I think this place does mainly like set meals, so you're probably not just getting one dish.
Like
you're getting probably like a many different. Yeah, you're getting a lot of courses, and I'm guessing that's how they kind of start increasing the prices because you're getting all this treatment as part of your package deal.
It's probably like really small. You know how fine dining is with that. Little.
Yeah. After that, I asked you which country had the most Michelin stars. The country you said was France. Because, you know, you're like, ooh, the Michelin snobby people, of course they have all the Michelin stars. I never said that,
but okay.
That's what I'm hearing from you.
You know what? Move on. Tell me the answer.
According to the Michelin star guide for 2020, France does have the highest number of stars. Yep, so you're correct. Do you know how many stars you would say?
So let's see. Like currently still?
Yeah, currently, as of 2020.
2020. I would say 20.
Only 20?
I don't know.
You know, restaurants could have 3 stars too.
It's very rare still.
Bro, you're wrong. There's 628 stars that are awarded in the 2020 guide of Michelin,
God damn! Just for France?
And that's just for France.
Oh my god. Now it doesn't feel as special anymore. I don't want to try it.
There was over 500 one-star restaurants in France, okay? Come on.
Yeah.
It's a whole country, bro.
It doesn't feel special anymore. Never mind. I don't want it.
Yeah. So, France has the most Michelin star restaurants, but Japan is second. They actually only have 557 Michelin star restaurants, but they have more one-star restaurants totally.
What about the US? We suck.
So the US only have 169.
Oh god, we're a bunch of losers.
But okay, so one of the things is that the US, Japan, and all these, we are newer to the Michelin guide system. In fact, I think Korea might have been one of the newest ones, and they just recently got Korea into the Michelin system. So not all countries have Michelin stars because the foundation of the Michelin star rating hasn't actually gone to every place yet.
So Michelin is a French company, right?
I guess so, originally.
Okay.
Yeah, it started in France.
Okay.
What's interesting, though, is that I found that France and Japan both have the same amount of 3-starred restaurants, which is 29. So, it seems like, even though you say that French are all snobby and stuff, and they're like, ooh, my food is the best, okay? It sounds like Japan actually is getting to that level, which I can kind of understand. I feel like Japan puts a lot of emphasis on their food, or they put a lot of like
innovation,
pride in their food, because they'll always be like, oh, you can't get this anywhere else. It has to be cut perfectly from this Japanese guy or something, even though all they're doing is just cutting fish. Like some people don't even cook it. So
eat the sushi. Gozaimasu.
Now, last question of the lightning round.
Oh, what? How long was this?
Who gets the Michelin star? Right? Out of when a restaurant receives it, who gets it? And you said the owner.
Yes.
Now, good thing you switched because it is the restaurant that earns the Michelin star. So regardless of owner who leaves or head chef who leaves, it's always the restaurant who gets it. So usually that's more towards the owner of it because they're the people who created it. But a lot of fame goes towards the head chef who made it happen.
So it's more just like overall the restaurant. Okay.
It's a very overall. It's kind of almost a trick question because no one really gets it. because no one gets to be like, this is my Michelin star only. It's mainly just the restaurant as a whole.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Now, finally, we're getting into the Michelin inspectors and the Michelin thing. Michelin inspectors have 5 kind of main criteria. You gave me 3 options and you said service, food, and location. I'm just going to let you know what these are.
All right.
As we said, inspectors are usually kept secret, so you don't know who it is. And when they're being really secretive, they can't write all these things down, right? So these are things that they really have to take into account by themselves and really think about it too. Now, 1 is quality of the products that's being made. 2, the mastery of flavor and the cooking technique. So how well is cooked and all that stuff. 3, the personality of the chef in their cuisine. That one was kind of interesting because I was like, oh, okay, I guess like, it needs to be really special and something that makes it unique, I guess.
Yeah.
4 is the value for its money.
Okay.
And 5 is consistency between visits.
Oh.
Because something I found out is that Michelin inspectors, now it might not be the same inspector every time, but they'll have multiple inspectors go and review a restaurant to know whether it's really worthy of their certain amount of stars.
So they do multiple visits just to see if it's worth what star, and then they do other like continual visits to see if they keep that star rating, right?
That as well. Above all, looking at these criteria, it's always about the food. So, unlike what you were kind of thinking before about service and location,
my God,
nothing. Now, it always focuses on the food. Now, there's other types of ratings. I think like Forbes has ratings, and every other place has their own type of like ratings for food. But when it comes to Michelin stars, it's always about the food. So what I learned about how the Michelin inspectors actually give the ratings is that it's kind of almost like this fraternity of groups of people, because what they have to do is they have these like Michelin star conferences, and they have all the inspectors come together and they have this big meeting, and what they do is they try to have a unanimous agreement on how many stars it's actually worth.
Oh, that's so you have like a general consensus.
Usually these people who are the inspectors are like past chefs and people who have had a lot of experience in the food industry.
So they're retired?
One article has said they usually need to have they're usually former chefs who have a lot of experience so that they know how to taste food well. Or they might need to have a degree in hospitality or 10 years of experience in food industry too. I think this was actually our last question.
Yeah, end it. Wrap it up.
Is that, the Michelin inspectors have different tells. Some restaurateurs can actually figure out who it might be, but no one ever 100% knows because 1, it's always kept a secret. The only times is that sometimes at the end of a restaurant experience, after they're finished dining, they might actually ask like for the owner, or they might ask for a tour in the back of the house to really get a feel for the restaurant. That's when they'll actually reveal, oh, I'm part of the Michelin whatever inspection society, I guess. Okay. And they won't even allow themselves to be photographed or anything. They'll never tell their real name. Usually it's silent. What I've heard is that they actually aren't even allowed to tell their parents. It can only be known to your spouse what your actual job is.
What is this like?
Yeah, it's like
the CIA?
Super spies, Exactly. Now, you said some of their tells might be, oh, they order a lot of things. They stay for a while. French accent. I don't know about that one, but they might ask a lot of questions, or they might not ask any. And to test how good the service is, they might cause a ruckus.
But they don't care about service, so.
Exactly. So they don't do that. The French accent one, I will say, there probably are a lot of French people who do it. But they also, in different regions, so like the ones in Korea, they have Korean inspectors who go. They might have other non-Korean inspectors who go to it too, but they do make a point to have people who are of that ethnicity or people who know that cuisine more than other people would to really test the quality of that food.
Yeah, that's good.
Often they are middle-aged because they're usually older and they have a lot of experience in food. I think nowadays they probably have more women in it, for more diversity as well. But also a lot of times it is a solo journey.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on, it can be multiple people, it could be just themselves. So they have the different tells. One place did say that restaurateurs, what they will actually do is 1, they pay attention to the person, because like you were saying, they might not speak as much
Yeah.
because they're more focused on the food. Inspector might already know what they want, and they might just order like various things on the
Yeah.
menu and just be like, okay, I'm ready, just see, because they don't need to pick what's the best thing. They just want to pick different food
So that they can
to
try
see
everything. Yeah.
what they think. Exactly. Another one that restaurateurs might say is that they'll see a person watching other tables. Sometimes, if they do get caught, they'll want to look at how well the service is being treated for other tables, or whether the food is better in other tables as well. You know, because if I know that you're the Michelin restaurant,
other tables food, I'm just, can I just try your steak? Because
that one looks a little well done. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
But you know, if you know that someone's a Michelin inspector, you're probably going to give them, you know, priority treatment. The last one is, this one's a little suspicious. I don't really know if this is true or not, but they say they pay attention to credit cards. Because apparently restaurateurs might like talk to each other, and while people have various fake names when they like want to do a reservation, it's not that easy to fake a credit card, right? So, and you know, it's really difficult to pay with cash if you're like going to so many different restaurants. So if you are usually inspecting a lot of places, they might see, oh, this credit card doesn't match the reservation. This might be a person who they don't know. This might be the Michelin inspector, you know, and then they can get that to other restaurants and start getting that name out there.
Or it's an identity thief. I don't.
It could be. That's why this one I was kind of sus about. I don't know about that one.
There's a lot of things that could be going on with that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Michelin star stuff, it seems very complicated and like,
it's
honestly, a little snobby.
It is.
You know?
The French. I mean, what?
Like, kind of how you feel about the French, you know, is how I feel about the Michelin star system.
I love the French. I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you think about the Michelin system?
Well, it's complicated, but I still want to try a restaurant that has a Michelin star.
Yeah.
And see if it's really credible. So,
anyways, that's our Michelin star episode. I mean, I feel like you did fairly okay because you have an idea of what the Michelin star do. Other than that,
I don't know. Excuse me.
Hey, I can't validate someone who thinks French people are super snobby and stuff, okay?
That.
Even if you think they are, and maybe it might be true to some French people because they're like, ooh, our French cuisine's the best. I don't care, man. I want to treat every person equal.
I never said that. To the country, the Republic of France, I never said you guys were snobby. But
yeah, whatever. Do your best French accent, huh? Do your best French accent.
I never said
And I think that sums up our episode, guys. But as always, to round it up at the very end, Clint, what time is it?
It's time for accent of the day. Well, it's time for a good old fact from the past. Fact from the past.
Fact from the past. Fact from the fast.
Yeah.
Fast pack. Pack fast.
Yeah.
Past fact.
Yeah.
And actually, this is evidence that our listeners actually contribute to our episodes, because this one was submitted by one of our listeners. Clint, give us a fake name, because this person deserves credit.
Benedict Belgram.
Okay, Benedict Belgium, or whatever it is. This person gave us an idea of maybe we should try this as our ending. What is it?
What?
As
segment.
Our ending segment. So, Clint, what's our fact from the past?
All right, we're gonna go a little bit ways back to our Manson family episode. I know a lot of people like that, and I remember you asking me about if Charlie Manson had any music like on Spotify or like on Apple Music and stuff. I don't know for sure if he has it on those platforms, but during his trial for the murders that he did, he released an album that he recorded himself because he couldn't find a record label because
he's a murderer.
But yeah, he recorded 13 songs in an album called Lie, The Love and Terror Cult. So yeah, he released it shortly before his trial happened. So he was already arrested, but he was like, you know what? I'm going to end on a bang. I'm going to release my album, y'all. And so if you want to give it to, I don't know, if you want to listen to any of his songs, so search that album. He did also record a lot more albums while he was in prison. So it really loves his music.
You can
I
do
don't know.
that?
I guess so.
Damn, what type of fancy ass prison does he have?
Uh,
Like maybe I should do that. Like can I do that? Like, you know, one, you get free lodging and everything. You probably get free recording equipment too.
yeah, I think we need to
Like,
do
'cause
that.
there's no way he's not paying for recording
No, he
equipment,
can't.
right? Like,
He can't. He shouldn't be able
exactly. I don't think you're even allowed to have a cell phone, and you know,
to.
so
You're not allowed to have a cell phone. No, they do have to send you
So-
money. Like families can send you money because like you can buy extra stuff at the prison, like like a vending machine, something. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I don't think he would be like $1 for a recording.
yeah. So I think
We're
you
going
know,
to jail, folks.
if you want to get your music career going out, might be worth.
If we want to have better audio on our podcast, we should go to jail.
So you'll find out if we ever have really good audio one
We
day.
in jail. But yeah, that's my fact from the past, that he recorded an album and he has multiple albums that he recorded in jail. And well, that's it for my fact.
Okay, that was very insightful, Clint. I don't know if I'm ever gonna listen to any of those albums.
You were
I don't wanna
interested
support.
if it was on Spotify, man.
I guess that's true. I wanted to see. But you know what? Thanks for that fact from the past. You know what time it is, Clint. Hit us with that ending.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at KnowThisPod. Please rate and review our podcast. It really helps us out. And if you have any questions or suggestions for topics or comments about our podcast, please email us at theknowthispodcast@gmail.com.
Cover art by Amy Hoffman. Music by Karthik Kabrakran. Edited and produced by Clint Valencia and Jeremy Mack. See you next week.